I have 3 super fun cards for you today using Hero Art's tote bag dies and many of the other products that coordinate. Hey everyone, it's Joy here and welcome to my channel. Okay, here is that darling tote bag die from Hero Arts. Then we've got couple stamp sets, and I think this is the Tiny Treasures. I'm not for sure because there's a couple different stamp sets, but I have everything listed and linked for you guys below. Now this is actually the pocket to one of the bags, and this totally, when I saw these little tiles, it made me think of Italy. And so I am going to be using mermaid ink from scrapbook.com, and I'm just going to hand stamp these because if they're not perfect, it's okay. But I'll be honest, I did pretty dang good. So there's 4 of these little tiles on that stamp set. I am going to use 3 of them and just alternate on this fun little pocket. This cardstock here is from scrapbook.com. This is the yellow classic cardstock, which is, yes, the classic yellow cardstock. It is such a yummy yellow. It's so perfect. So we have Tiny Treasures, we have Totes the Best Stamp and Coordinating Die, we have the Background Builder Stamp Set, and the tote bag die that we're going to be using today. And I made 3 cards because how can you stop when you are using all of these, or when you have all of these products? Oh my gosh. It's not going to be one of those days, you guys. So isn't that cute? You have tons of sentiments. You have other little images, florals, things like that. I love this. And so I am going to take the flowers now and we're going to work on another one of the bags. So I'm using yellow for all 3 of these bags, but they're going to all look so completely different with the other colors that I coordinate with them. So we've got some fun green inks here. I am using, let's see. I am using Gina K inks, and I feel like this was one of her inks, and now I can't remember what color it was. Oh, this is grass green. I'm so sorry. Then I'm using Sunkissed Coral and Coral Reef from Gina K, and then Pink Fresh, I'm using Berrylicious and Lemon Whip. So that's not on this card. This one is just the Sunkissed Coral, Coral Reef, and Grass Green. So I'm going to stamp all over this whole background of this darling bag on the yellow cardstock from scrapbook.com. And this just is so fun. I love to create patterns like this. And of course, these flowers and everything are like the perfect size, of course, for the bags because they're supposed to be, right? And so just adding them all over. I knew that there was going to be the pocket on the front, and so I wasn't really worried about stamping there. And then you're going to have a piece of cardstock strip at the bottom, so I also was not worried about stamping there. This is also so much faster with an acrylic block than trying to use your MISTI because it doesn't need to be perfect. I wasn't trying to make sure everything was lined up perfectly. I just was trying to get it covered. And I think that's kind of part of the fun, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's bring in some more of these images. I'm going to do another kind of green leaf here and kind of fill in all of those little spots. And how cute is this? Especially on that yellow. I love it. This bag felt very spring to me. And the other 2 feel very summer to me. And then that's going to be the handle, and we have the pocket. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness. And then here is the pocket for our 3rd bag. So I'm going to do red and yellow. So this was inspired by these cute cherries on the stamp set. This is on I think it's the Totes the Best stamp set. It's one of the 2. But I'm going to do white heat embossing for this pocket with just the cherries. Because so cute, so cute. And I think red and yellow are just such a pretty combination. So let's sprinkle on that white embossing powder. And then I'm going to use my heat tool to get that nice and hot and melted. And you know it's melted when it's shiny. And then here is the bag part for the cherry bag. And then I am using the Background Builder stamp set, and it's these fun stripes. I did want them to go horizontal, but it just was not going to work size wise. So I'm going to go vertical, but they do line up perfectly. It doesn't touch the bottom, but that's okay because there is a die piece that goes on the bottom of the bag. So isn't that so fun? And I am using Berrylicious from Pink Fresh Studio to stamp on here. And this just lined up so nicely right next to it. Like you can't even tell when you look at the background. Like it was amazing. I lined it up so well. That does not always happen. But of course I'm going to use my Misty for this because if I don't get a good stamp, I want to be able to stamp it again. And then there's another piece that I'm going to use for the Italian bag. It's these little polka dots, and I will be using the Lemon Whip from Pink Fresh Studio to stamp that as well, just to give the bag a little bit of texture. And again, that's the Background Builder stamp set. There's a few images there that you can add to your bags. Look at how fun this is. So I'm going to do that one more time. It's really hard to see on camera because it's light, but in person you can see it. I didn't want to go too dark. You could also use a teal on there. I am using the teal accents on this bag, but I just really opted for that yellow. So let me do that other side here. And this lined up really nicely as well. So now we have the pockets and the bags. Well, one pocket isn't done, and the background of the bag. So now we have our fun images here that I'm going to color with some Olo markers. On Olo cardstock, we have a cherry here, 2 lemons, a ladybug, a bow, a little heart dangler, and then we have all of the pieces at the top. I just embossed with gold embossing powder. So the same way that I did the white cherries, but I used gold powder instead. And because I wanted that to be gold. And then I'm going to bring in a gold glitter marker from scrapbook.com and a black one here. This is a black glitter one to add to the ladybug to give her some shine. And I decided to give all of these some shine with a clear glitter marker from scrapbook.com. Once I did it to the ladybug, I thought, oh, everything needs to have a shimmer and shine. So I'm going to do it on all of these cute little charms. This one might be the Tiny Treasures, and the other one might be the Totes the Best stamp set. Let's get our lemons colored here. Really super simple, easy coloring, you guys. It goes really fast. So these images I just stamped in black ink, and then the ones above I did in gold because I like gold accents. And so that's why I embossed it in gold. Look at how fun those are. They just come to life so nicely. And then here's that clear glitter brush marker. If you need to watch this slower, just hit the gear there on YouTube and you can slow down the coloring if you need to. And then let's create this little bow here. And then I will use all the coordinating dies to die cut these out. But let me grab the gold glitter marker for all of my images here at the top. And it's going to be perfect. It ended up matching perfectly. Once that dries, then I can die cut that out. We've got this one, and then we have, that's it. We're good. Okay, let's start putting our pieces together. So you have a trim piece here. This is die cut from Pomegranate cardstock, the red, from scrapbook.com. We have our little bottom piece here. And then I couldn't really see it on here, but there is little etched marks to know where your handle goes. And I only did one handle. You could do 2, I guess, if you wanted, but I don't know that there's a point. So I just did the one. And I will add 1mm foam adhesive behind all of the pockets on all 3 of these darling little bags. You could have something sticking out of it too, and that would be really cute. I should have done that. I just didn't even think about it. There's this little gold piece. At first I thought it was a zipper, and I think it works well as a zipper. The other 2, there's actually a little spot on the left-hand side of the bag where it goes, like a little label. But I think you could get away with it as a zipper too, so that's what I did. Okay, this is Sicily cardstock. And then we have coral cardstock for the handle. So cute. Look at how fun. This feels so spring-like, especially with the ladybug, because we're going to put the ladybug on this one. So here's where that little piece is supposed to go. But again, it can be a zipper. Now I need to stamp a sentiment on this. This one is going to say, may all your wishes come true. So I just love that idea, and it's going to fit perfectly. And I think I just ended up using, I did not use the Misty. I didn't feel like it. I am going to use, and I believe this is the, oh gosh, this might be Coral Reef from Gina K. But it came out perfect. I was living on the edge. And then let's adhere that to the front. Again, some 1mm foam adhesive just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then we will place that down. And I did speed this up, you guys. Obviously you can tell I sped this video up a little bit because otherwise it would be really, really long. I'm just going to use yellow for the bottom. I did not use the turquoise, but I'm using Teal Topaz, which is the darker, and Waterfall, which is the lighter color here. And I love this. This is just so pretty. And then we're going to have the lemons kind of give you that Italian feel. Let's add the pocket. And then those guys are done. Now for the background, I just used one embossing folder from scrapbook.com. This is the Quilted Daisies, and I just did this for all 3 backgrounds because I wanted the backgrounds to be white. I wanted everything to be about the color of these bags. And so I kept that simple, and I did trim them down slightly smaller than an A2 size piece. And then I have my sentiments. I just stamped and die cut the sentiments from each one of those stamp sets. And so Hey Friend is on the spring one. On the cherry bag, it says happy birthday, have a charming day. How cute is that? And I'm going to overlap the handle of the bag. And then the other one says, happy birthday, wishing you a year filled with tiny treasures. How cute is that? And again, I'm just going to have this overlap the handle of the bag. I think it's perfect. And then we're going to get all of the charms on here. Really, really cute. Now, some of these, I think you could put the charm on before you glue down the handle. I wasn't thinking ahead of time, so I just cut the charm. It was not a big deal. It did not bother me. But I'm just going to trim there, and it's going to fit around nicely. And then I have another little chain piece that I'm going to hang down, and this one's just going to have 2 lemons on the left side and a little tassel on the right. But aren't these so much fun? Oh my goodness, these turned out so fantastic. So let's just add a little foam adhesive here behind some of these. And I'm going to trim down that other chain just a little bit. It was just a little bit too long for where I wanted my second lemon to go. Oh my gosh, so cute. I think I have to trim it down even smaller. There we go. There we have our little lemons and a little bit of liquid glue. And I come back and put the other little piece on there. This one, we're going to have the cherries and then the little heart. Oh my gosh, my brain just stopped thinking. I can't remember what that's called. Anyways, a little charm. But there was the little tassel. That's the word. So let's adhere our cherry here. Cute. And then another little piece of chain that's going to be where our tassel is going to hang from. I love this bag too. I love this one. So I think my favorite, of course, is the teal and yellow with the Italian feel, then the yellow and red with the cherry, which is funny because I don't even like red, but I love it in some color combinations, and yellow and red is one of my faves. And then this spring one is my 3rd favorite, but I love them all because they're all so beautiful. But aren't these such fun products from Hero Arts? Oh my gosh, just what a fun way to make some cards. There's the ladybug, and then the little bow is going to go down here, and I want to make sure I don't cover up with that whole sentiment. Cute. Oh, cute. And then let me add this little chain and tassel. That's going to be perfect. And then we can take a look at these up close. And of course, like always, I do have everything listed and linked for you guys below in the description. And I do get affiliate links, but it does not cost you anything extra to use. So if you use them, thank you very much. Oh, let's finish off with some pops of color. I'm doing yellow, of course, on that one. That is Banana Split. And I'm using Rudolph Red on this one, and then Summer Peach for the other one. Just a few little dots to give a little something extra. And I'm just giving them a light tap to kind of flatten those dots so you don't have that little point on the top. And then here's that summer peach. That is perfect. So let me do that here. And then these cards are finished. These are A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then these are all done. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed these projects. I hope you feel inspired. And if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel and have a wonderful day. Bye.